Hello everyone and welcome back to Exam Prep Solutions. In today's video, we have a pair of construction engineering problems involving soil and fill. So we're going to get into that here real shortly. I have a couple of free guides in the description down below. One of them is the 5 steps to solving any FE exam problem. I recommend you check that out for free in the description down below. If you want a free guide for solving your FE exam problems going forward, and if you're looking for some direct help from me regarding passing your FE exam, you can find my contact information in the description down below. Anyways, let's launch into these practice problems here. Okay, so we've got a pair of construction practice problems involving soil. Notice I don't really have an FE exam reference section because there's not a lot of information on construction engineering in the FE reference manual. Not really a lot of direct formulas there. So we're going to be using mostly a lot of these are mathematics and logic. So let's go into problem 1 here. I'll write out the solution right here. Problem 1 is equipment productivity. A loader is used to move soil with the following data. So it's a bucket capacity of 2.5 cubic yards per bucket. The cycle time is 0.8 minutes per cycle, and the efficiency is 75%. What's the production rate of the loader in cubic yards per hour? Okay, so let's take stock of everything we got. 2.5 cubic yards. Okie dokie. And then we've got a cycle time of 0.8 minutes. One of the things that can really trip you up on these problems is not really keeping track of your units or not taking account into things like your efficiency, which is going to be really important when it comes to your final answer. Also, if you forget your efficiency on the exam, for example, they will usually have the incorrect answer if you don't apply the efficiency factor and the actual correct answer. So keep that in mind. So 2.5 cubic yards, the cycle time is 0.8 minutes per cycle, and it wants the hourly rate, so per hour. So the 60 minutes an hour, of course, and we're going to divide that by 0.8. So that gives us about 75 cycles per hour because it's a 0.8 minutes per cycle. And we're going to multiply that by the bucket capacity, which is 2.5 cubic yards. So let's go 75 times 2.5. And that'll give us 187.5, but we need to apply the efficiency, which is 75%. So let's go 187.5 times 0.75. What does that give us? The final answer is 140.625. Very clearly, the answer is B on this problem. The importance here, units, of course, keeping track of all of the measurements that they give us, making sure that they're applicable, and doing our math properly. So that's what the first problem is there. This is a very typical FE construction problem. Okay, so let's get into problem 2 here. Earthwork volume. A project requires 1,000 cubic yards of compacted fill from the ground. The soil has a shrink factor of 10% and a swell factor of 20%. How many bank cubic yards of soil must be excavated? So let's think about this situation here. We need 1,000 cubic yards from the ground, and there's a shrink factor equal to 10%. So to get our final amount needed, now remember the soil is going to shrink, we're going to need to apply that shrinkage factor. So 1,000 equals the cubic yards required times, we're going to be taking 1 minus that 0.1 because our shrinkage was 10%. So that means CY, or what was needed from the ground, is 1,000 divided by 0.9 so that we will have enough soil. That equals 1,111 cubic yards. Now you may be tempted to say, don't we need now to apply the swell factor? Not exactly. We're not transferring the soil. We're not measuring it in buckets. We're not doing anything like that. We're just asking how much soil do we need from the ground? How many bank cubic yards of soil do we need excavated from the ground for this 1,000 cubic yard project? There's a 10% shrinkage factor when it is excavated. So we will need 1,111 cubic yards exactly from the ground. The answer will be C. So those are 2 construction engineering problems. I hope those were useful. If you have questions, leave in a comment down below, or any of the kinds of problems you'd like to see me cover, I'd be happy to do so. Check out my free guides in the description. Contact me if you need help preparing for your FE exam. Thank you so much for watching. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.